Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to go over all of the new team builder sets. So today we got a pretty big shock to the HUT market in NHL 21 as they introduced sets and team builder upgrades that work a lot like MLB Diamond Dynasty. And if you haven't played MLB Diamond Dynasty, I'm going to give you a brief example of how they work in the video and go over all of the value, who should be targeting these cards, what you should be doing with your current gold players, what the market will look like, all of that. But guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel for daily NHL content. I'm almost at 25,000 subs, so I'd really appreciate it. But all right, let's get into all of the new team builder sets in NHL 21. All right, guys, so I guess the best way to start here would just be to show you the cards that were released. We received 398 overall cards, and I will show you how to get them and what it's going to cost in terms to actually build them. You cannot pull these in packs. These are going to be the rarest and most unique cards to chase after in NHL 21, basically for the rest of the year. These are flex cards, guys. These are absolutely incredible players that you're going to use in your lineup, and the faster you get them, obviously, the bigger of a flex it is because they are just going to be an insane investment. So let's go and take a look individually at the cards. Because they are 99s, basically, or 98, sorry, almost all of their stats are maxed. Now, however, the way that speed now works in terms of progression, acceleration, and speed goes up 0.5 every time you increase a card. So Phil Housley has 90. This one has 2 to Spark, 2 to Gladiator, 99 everything else. Jerome Iginla, we received a 98 overall. Again, basically 91 speed with 90 acceleration, and then 99 everything else in Gladiator and Distributor as his synergy. And then we also got Jonathan Toews. Again, 2 to Spark and passing playmaker. That's not going to do anything. And then 99 to everything else. So these are the new cards to chase after in NHL 21. And like I said, they are extremely difficult to go get. I think what the best way to do this is to go show you the sets and then show you the rest of the cards afterwards. So let's go do that. All right, so if you go to the Team Builder sets, you will see all of these new Team Builder 2.0 sets, and I'm going to explain how they all work. But if you have played MLB Diamond Dynasty before, it's essentially the same thing. You collect all the players, or most of them, from one single team, and you will get that team's Team Builder card, okay? They're 85 overall. Then what happens is if you turn all of those, you can turn all of those 85s into a few different avenues here, okay? We'll start first with the 98. So those 3 98s that I showed you, they're going to take 31 cards to get the choice pack. They will be untradeable. And to get that choice pack, you will need to have every single team builder that is in the game. So yes, you would have to collect all of the cards to make these 85 overall team builders to get Iginla, Toews, and Housley. That is why I said they will be the most rare and unique cards basically in the game, even more than whatever 99s and 98s come out, because there's only one way to get these, and it is through a lot of grinding and a large commitment to your bank account in terms of coins. So let's get into the other sets as well. So now that we know how to get the 98s, there's some other options and avenues that you can take. And it's really going to depend on your own situation because there's a very unique player base that can actually get the 98 overalls, and it's really for the HUT rich and the guys that grind the game daily. If you are not one of those players, then they're probably not going to be an option and worth grinding for you, and I'm going to show you what to do with that because you can make bank right now if you are not able to make these cards. Okay, moving down the line, you can get a 94 overall card by trading in all of the Western Conference 85 overall cards. So let's say that you have a lot of them. You want to chase after this. You can get a Patrick Marleau, and a Elias Pettersson, and a Matthew Dumba card. These will be 94 overalls, and again, it will require the Western Conference, or most of them. Sorry, there will be an assortment of guys that you get from getting this 94 overall, and also requires 1 gold collectible. So you put all these in, and you will get the Elias Pettersson, Marleau, and Dumba choice pack, and again, it'll be untradeable, the 94 overalls, and I'll show you those in a second as well. You can also do the Eastern Conference one, okay, and that will get you a choice between Capo Caco, Letang, and Primo, and again, it's the same kind of situation. You got to trade in all of the Eastern Conference teams, and you will get a choice pack of one of those 94. So again, these are going to be for the guys that, you know, they can't go all out and get all 31, but they can try and get 16 to try and get one of those cards. And again, they're flex cards. There's only one way to get them. But then you go down the list even more, and this is where it becomes like MLB. Okay, so this 90 overall, okay, you can get a choice pack of the North Division, okay? So you can get one of the North Division 90 overall cards, all right? There's 14 of them, and all it requires is you to trade in the North Division 85 overalls and a gold collectible, okay? and these will be 90 overall. So again, this is all going to depend on each individual situation, because if you're close in any of these, then it might be of value to you. And again, if you have certain players that you want to go after, then obviously that is advantageous to you. They're all going to be very expensive, but it is something to chase after, which I think has been sorely missed in NHL 21, because even for someone like myself who spends a ton of money on this game, I play it every day, I play it for a living, there's really no flex other than just having a lot of great and expensive cards, okay? It's not like an MLB where you have Mickey Mantle or Sheffield, and you get those, by the way, guys, by collecting every single player in the game, and you can do it right at launch. So it's a lot easier early on because you just grind it early, and you know what I mean? Like, you work towards it all year long. NHL's doing this a little bit later in the year, but again, I've been saying this in a lot of my videos that EA has done a lot of new foundational things in these new events that are the start of what could be really, really good. I use the example of the fantasy sets. Those fantasy sets are upgradable cards. Now, that's a great thing to add to the game because you can upgrade each card like Couturier over a course of time, right, at your own pace. Now, the ultimate of that would be if you have Couturier and you perform certain milestones with him, like games played or goals scored or assists or face-off wins, you will upgrade him instead of just, hey, here's a gold collectible or whatever other card to upgrade him to the next level. That would be the ultimate form of that, in my opinion. So this is a lot like MLB and the Team Collector, which is super popular in MLB because, again, it gives you a grind and something amazing at the end that very few people are going to have. But now let's talk about the value of these cards. So let's go take a look now again at the cards that you can go out and get. So if you go to my collection, I'm not going to break all these down. There is 102, and the reason for it is there is every single 85, okay? We all know those ones. But then each team has 290 overalls that you can choose between. So example, for Columbus, RJ Umberger, Fedor Tutin, Marek Zidlicki. As you go along, again, there's 2 for every single team, and it's an awful lot. And again, it requires you to trade in every single card in that division, and you will get a choice pack of the card, at 90 overall. So again, Steve Thomas, if you get Barrage and Howitzer, again, you'd have to go through and see every single one. I might do a video on it, but this is going to be an insanely long video to go through every single card. I might do it by division, but I want to start first with the 94s and 98s because I think that's what everyone is all excited about and looking into. So the 94s that you can get, so you can get Keith Primo. We'll take a look at him. Spark, 2 to Spark, like the lamp. And again, this requires you to trade in 16 team builder cards. So you have to collect the entire Eastern Conference and you will get a choice of these packs. No way is this of value because, again, his speed is just so slow. You're going to invest that many cards. It's just not going to work. Elias Pettersson has 2 to Heart and Soul and 2 to Thief. It makes him a usable center. It's not bad, but there's far better cards, in my opinion, again, at 94 overall, that you can go out and grab. Moving on to Patrick Marleau, one of my favorite players of all time, with 2 to Swarm and Magician. This one might be worth it because his shot's amazing, his speed's high, 2 to Swarm is valuable, and Magician isn't bad either because it would get his puck control and deking to 99, and that just, helps with L2s and whatnot. He's 6'2" and he has 90 body checking. This card could actually be of value at the 94 spot, but again, it's all going to depend on your own situation. Moving on, we've got the 94 Chris Letang. And this one's not bad either. 2 to balance is meh, but 2 to shut down. He's got 90 speed and acceleration right out of the gate, and a really good slap shot with elite body checking with shutdown activated, and then obviously stick checking and defensive awareness. That's a great card again. If you were going to do the Eastern Conference, it's going to be Chris Letang. That's the one that you'd want to choose. That's the only one I think that is worth it. So just a great card there. Then we go on to Capo Caco. Capo Caco is a great card. He's got 99 shooting, and he's 6'3". The problem is he's got 82 endurance. And 2 to Heart and Soul does increase that, but Heart and Soul is just not a synergy that you're looking to activate. Maybe if you are Hut Rich, because it is going to take you an awful lot to get this card. But you have to remember, if you're going after this card, that means you're not going after the 98s, guys. You really have to make a decision because it could be a giant waste because you're not going to be able to upgrade these again. These are stuck at 94, and if you get through all these and you realize, man, Capo Caco in like a month or 2 is going to be on your 4th line, you should have just done the 98s. That's where it's going to be kind of tough. The other Western Conference defenseman is Matt Dumba. He's got good speed and a great synergy combo. This one might be the Western Conference one, in my opinion. Like I said, the Patrick Marleau offensive card is really good. 2 to Barrage, 2 to Workhorse, though. That's a great synergy combo for right-handed defenseman Matt Dumba. So that would probably be the best value, in my opinion, in terms of those cards. But again, we'll rank them. And then we go and look again. So Jonathan Toews, Jerome Iginla, and Phil Housley, they're all basically, maxed out, okay? The speed's all around 90. The best card, and easily the best of the three, is Jonathan Toews, okay? He has 99 draws. He's 6'2", comes with 2 to spark. Passing playmaker does nothing for him. But nonetheless, this is the best card. If you take away everything, Jonathan Toews is the best card in the game. Out of these three, there's really no argument for it. Jerome Iginla, in my opinion, is the next one because, again, you can use him on center. This is basically 1 inch shorter and 2 acceleration and 1 speed less for Jerome Iginla, and he gives you 2 to distributor instead of 2 to spark, and he has 97 on the draw. Honestly, I'm going to choose Jerome Iginla because he's one of my favorite players, but Jonathan Toews is technically the best, but it's very, very slight, okay? And then Phil Housley, in my opinion, distant third. While all of his stats are fantastic, really doesn't have any difference between him and Iginla and Jonathan Toews. It's just that he's 5'10". That's the only knock, but it gives him a clear disadvantage towards the other guys. The one thing I will mention, I know this is going to get brought up, the fact that Phil Housley has 95 faceoffs. Here's the issue with HUT attributes, in my opinion, as they go in the endgame. I mentioned this a lot. MLB uses this system, and it helps with this. So 99 is the cap for the overall cards. The only way to get 99, it's an average of all of the stats. If speed doesn't get increased, everything else has to make the overall go higher. The only way to fix that or get around it, really, is what MLB does, and that makes every single stat cap at 125. This allows cards to go above 90 overall or 99, increase the overall rating, but not increase, face-off. So face-off stay at 60, but maybe his slap shot goes to 110, that kind of thing, right? So that's why, because I know we'll get that brought up, why does he have 95 face-offs? It's just a byproduct of the speed being capped at 90 or going up by 0.5, and everything else has to come up to raise his overall to 98. So that's why. So again, guys, if you're going to do the 98 right now, it's Toews, then Iginla, and if you have a preference between those two, it doesn't really matter, and then Phil Housley is last. Okay, guys, now let's get into the value and for the market. The majority of players not going to be able to take advantage of this, okay? It's exciting for myself because it gives me something to grind for the entire rest of the year because, again, these cards are just a hella huge flex, okay? They are gigantic. Here's what I want you guys to do. Go to the Team Builder sets, all right? And I want you to start by doing this. Every single player that watches this video, I want you to go into each set. I want you to right-click on the left thumbstick, and I want you to hit autofill. I want you to go do this with every single team so you know how close you are and what cards you have. Do this with every single team. Some of you are going to be really lucky that you've held on to so many. Some of you, like me, just purged all your cards to buy. I don't even know what my last purchase was, but I think it was to finish off Joe Sakic. So, again, people are going to be in different positions here. Then you have to make a decision. Okay, there's 700, well, roughly. Again, this is all rough math, okay, guys? So if you go through and add them all up, there's about 25 cards for 31 teams, roughly. Okay, so that's 775 players that you're going to need to collect to create the Iginla, the Housley, or the Jonathan Toews. Here's the issue. All right, so you need 775, then you minus how many cards you have. This is where you have to do the math, okay, guys? Because when you go into this, you have to be prepared with how long and how much of an investment it actually is. So we will take the Arizona Coyotes because here is what has happened, guys. It is so new and everyone wants these. They're tripping over themselves, buying up every single card. Let's take the Brad Richardson, for example. We'll search the auction house. He's 79 overall, and he's going for about 5,000 coins. Oh, there is going to be a lot of these cards. So the average, I've gone through. If you take a look at the higher overalls, so let's do Steric Stepan, for example. You'll notice something with some of these cards. So the in between 80 and 82 overall, it's actually cheaper than some of these lower cards. And the reason for it is because they're just more pulled. When you look at the packs, the chance to pull something really high isn't very high, obviously. So pulling Connor McDavid base is still pretty rare to do, right? But those 81s to 83s, those are the most common cards pulled when you're doing like those big packs, okay? Because the lower gold cards could be AHL cards, they could be European cards. These ones are just more rare. Even though that they're lower and technically more available, these cards seem to be just in more abundance in these 80 overalls. So these ones aren't going to be worth nearly as much as these lower overall ones because there just isn't as many on the market. So if you take the 775 cards, let's say you don't have any cards, okay, that you can put into this set. You're starting fresh, but you're like, I'm dead set. I'm getting that Jerome Iginla or Toews card, okay? 775. Every card I went through, you're paying about an average of 3,000 coins a player. That's 2.3 million coins, guys. Now, a lot of you are going to be like, oh, EA, this sucks. What a stupid idea. Guys, again, this is not meant to happen immediately. This is giving players that play this game a ton a chance at an endgame card for, and giving everything value. Because while this is not going to be something that 99% of the player base participates in, here's where you do get to participate. So you put all your cards into the sets, okay? You put them all in. You look and you're like, man, there is no way that I'm going to ever do this set. I'm going to make bank, all right? So you go and take a look. Let's take a look at Johan Larson, okay? We'll search the auction house for 78 Johan Larson, and look at that, okay? 3.3K for a 78 overall card. And to be honest, if you want, you can kind of buy up the lower ones and price gate them, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. That's a scumbag move. But you could sell this card for 3,000 coins, a 78 overall card. Go and sell all of them, and you can buy up all the master sets that you want. So here's the thing, guys. People are going to start realizing that the demand is not meeting the supply. So everyone went up and bought all of these gold cards for basically every team, and they're selling it in a range of 15 or 2,000 to about 10,000 for some cards on the higher end, okay? You have to understand that those are just going to sit on the market once the player base realizes that, hey, so few people are going to be going to do this set. Everyone's just trying to sell their cards. It will drop them in price. So I would take advantage of this now. Make a decision now. And the one thing I will say, if you're going to play the game throughout the entire year, don't sell them. Honestly, it's something to collect, guys. It is. Every week, you rip packs, and you get nothing for it, okay? You don't get a new master item. You've ripped Hut Champs, you've ripped Rivals, and all you get is an 82 Timo Meyer, and you're like, ugh, what did I waste that for? That card now has a lot of value. Every single gold NHL card has value, and that is why MLB, doing things like this, has such a better overall experience. So you guys have to understand that while this event specifically, or this build, is not meant for 99% of the player base, it gives value to literally every single card in the NHL, which from the start of the game is phenomenal, and I hope they do this going forward and don't just stop at the 85s. I hope they give us the ability to make 98s at the beginning of the game, because again, the players that can actually get these cards, they're not even the best in the world. It is going to require if people got lucky and made them all or made a majority of them. I made 3 so far, and that was at the very beginning of the year. So I have a slight head start over a lot of people. But mostly, even if you're a pro player and you rip 15 free packs, very little chance that they're going to be able to complete this quickly. So again, it's not going to overpower everyone. If you play MLB, there's very few Mickey Mantles out there on day one. It depends on how much money you spend, and I would not recommend spending money to chase after this, guys. It's a marathon, not a sprint. This is something to chase for, which has been a big, missing factor in HUT in NHL 21. So you guys, again, I just want to kind of explain that in the scope, and for the people that are complaining about it, I understand why, you're not going to get an opportunity to get these cards, but you can make an absolute killing on the market right now. So let's go back, guys, and take a look at the market and some other things I want you to pay attention to before the rest of the market does. So everyone, 3,000 coins is basically where you're looking at to get any of these, 80 overall, Ryan Johansson, 2,400, okay? So 2,000. They're already coming down in price, okay? Here's the thing. If you go and take a look at gold cards and you go and set a maximum to 900... dude, you can still buy gold cards for under 900 because everyone is just completely forgetting about the fact that gold cards and master set items still exist. So once the new hotness of these 3 cards wears off in about 5 days, okay, once everyone rips all their rewards and they realize that there's no way they're going to ever collect all of them, then the prices will start to come down, and gold players these cheap ones will start to go up a little bit, and everyone will go back to going after gold master set items, okay? It's just a huge shock to the market adding something like this, because again, every single gold card from 78 and above, or any that's on any NHL team, now has a lot more value than it did because it was literally nothing before. So be on the lookout for these cards. Anything under 950, guys, is definitely worth it, because you can make gold collectibles super cheap that you can use for the master sets that come out, because these the 94s are the 94s. The 98s are endgame. Those are amazing cards. You'll use those the entire game. I promise you that. But the master items that come out are still going to be almost just as good, if not better, in most cases because of the synergy. So I just wanted everyone to pay attention to that. So, guys, in closing of this, okay, there is one other thing I wanted you to take a look at, all right? So I was just doing some math, and I tried this on my own stream to see if I just bought premium packs with coins, because it was 7,500, if I could make my money back. And every few packs you will, because again, you'll pull gold cards or NHLers that are worth they have to be worth basically, 3,750, 3,750 each to make your money back, okay? Plus all the other crap that you get in there. You can kind of make your money on this. And the reason why it's important is because if you can open a pack for free, essentially, every pack you open, it's another shot at a master set item or a big time pull, like prime time, team of the year, team of the week, event cards, anything. So be on the lookout, guys. So this premium pack isn't. The reason why is because the gold, it's guaranteed 2 gold players, but they can be in the AHL or the European leagues, and that's where you lose your coins. So if you have like 400K and you did it, you'd probably break about even, because eventually you'll start pulling some NHLers that are worth a lot. But just be on the lookout for some of these other packs that guarantee you like NHL players, or even these 80 and aboves. A lot of these packs are going to be ripped, especially now because everyone's trying to get these team builder cards. But be on the lookout for the coins. Do the math, guys. Like, it's about 3,000 coins per player on average. So if you can make your money back or just under by buying coins, I mean, again, it's something fun and to experiment with. It's something I always look for, but right now, not really worth it. But when new packs come out tomorrow, they might be. So I wanted to mention that a little bit. So, all right, guys. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a separate video just going over all of these new team builder cards, because there are so many of them, especially the 90 overalls. And there might be one that's worth it, because some of these are only going to cost it's going to be cheap. You also have to remember you get packs when you do all of these sets too. So it's not like you're just getting the card to trade in. You're also getting packs as well. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'm curious what you guys think of this. Again, I know that this is for a very small player base, but man, you guys can make a killing for all the guys that are not going to go for the Iginla, the Toews, or the Housley card. It is a lot like MLB, and I am someone that preaches that this game needs to take more concepts from Diamond Dynasty, and this is one of them. So, happy to see it, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and subscribe for daily NHL content. I'll see you next time. Have a good one, boys.